On May the 4th, the king went to see Treasurer Enevold Kruse, and we imbibed heavily into the wee hours of the night. On the way back to the palace, when we reached the Højbro Bridge, the king asked me where my dwellings lay, and since they were nearby, he said that I should invite him up. He would like to see my lodgings and my landlady, and maybe I had some beautiful maids. I replied that my landlady was old, but I had young and comely maids. And besides, I had an English drink called Rose de Soleil, which my landlord had been given me yesterday on board on an English ship. "This sounds pleasing to my ear," said the king. I thus immediately sent my servant ahead to open the gate and let the landlady know that the king was coming, and requested that the landlord bring out the said bottle. When the king had tasted this Rose de Soleil, he said, "This is excellent, and it is not brandy, but it is distilled by the sun. It is no harm if we drink more liberally from it." He then proposed a toast to my Hildeborg's health, and I toasted my neighbor, and in this manner the glass passed among the four of us. I then poured a second small glass and drank the king's toast, expressing my humble gratitude. As soon as I had finished it, I was so intoxicated that my legs would no longer support me. When Joachim Bülow saw that, he sought to help me to my bed, but this only resulted in both of us tumbling onto the floor. When Børge Trolle saw the effect of this Rose de Soleil, he secretly seized the bottle and poured out the remains on the floor. When the king realized that the bottle was empty, he smashed all the windows with it. Then he left my quarters, intending to stop by Kristen Barnekow, whose dwellings were nearby. Since his door was locked, he sought to climb in through a window. But as he was so unfortunate as to fall down on the hilt of his own sword, he received a cut above his right eye. The following day the king set out to visit Kronborg, but he only got as far as Vartov, where he spent the night. Joachim Bülow and I were very poorly and had to stay in Copenhagen, where my landlady nursed us back to health with rich and fatty well-done hot kale. When I saw the king 2 days later, he said, "You stood me quite around. See this new eye I have now?" And he swore that he would never imbibe the English drink again. When he later entered the queen's apartment, the queen said to my Hildeborg, who was also present, "Your Sivert was quite the generous host to my lord." I then apologized profusely and said the king ought to have gone to bed, as I and Joachim Bülow both did.